In the last 3 years, Nvidia's stock price is up by 369%, while AMD's stock price is up by 3% in the last 3 years. So, unsurprisingly, many AMD stock investors are hoping AMD can deliver similar results to Nvidia in the next 3 years. So, could Nvidia get caught up by AMD, or could AMD become the next Nvidia? I'll answer that question in this video by looking at AMD's latest developments and how it's trying to play catch up to Nvidia in the data center business that's optimized for artificial intelligence.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So as I shared with you in the introduction of the video, here's the chart of these two companies' share price performance in the last 3 years. And you can see Nvidia separating itself from AMD around January of 2023. And the share price performance has never looked back. Nvidia creating widespread improvements in share prices, while AMD has improved from those decreases in January of 2023, but nowhere near the level of Nvidia. And so investors are hoping for a little bit of a catch up to where the two had similar share price performance. So one way AMD is trying to catch up to Nvidia is on the AI software front. The software, the CUDA software that Nvidia has been developing since the late or the early 2000s, is what gives Nvidia the primary advantage in the AI data center space. So AMD is trying to play catch up. So since launching the MI300 GPU 10 months ago, they have expanded functionality at every layer of the ROCm stack. So with the release of ROCm, which is AMD's counter to Nvidia's CUDA 6.2 last quarter, the MI300X inferencing performance has improved by 2.4 times since that launch, and training performance has increased by 80%. There's a typo here in the company's conference call transcript. This should say training performance has increased by 80%. So they're already demonstrating improvement in their software, and that improvement is resulting in performance demonstration increases 2.4x and 80%. So that's creating increasing support from the broader AI software ecosystem and the significant advances we have made in our software stack. ROCm provides AI developers with a truly open software alternative that has been deployed and validated at scale. So it is improving. They are gaining traction here in this category, although the rates of increase will need to continue for several consecutive quarters, perhaps several consecutive years, to close the gap with Nvidia, which has been investing in this type of software since I mentioned early 2000s. And so they have that lead of research and development, that lead of building the libraries, and that's going to be hard for AMD to overcome, but they're still trying and they're still demonstrating progress. So another way AMD is trying to catch up to Nvidia is by offering more to the data centers, to the companies that are building data centers. So these companies like Alphabet, Microsoft, Meta Platforms, etc., they like Nvidia's full solution. Nvidia does not just offer the GPU. Nvidia offers a full stack solution to these companies that are building the data centers. So these data center building companies can go to Nvidia for so much of their needs. They don't have to go to several different vendors, and they like that. And AMD is trying to duplicate that in part with an acquisition of ZT Systems, which will allow them to design and validate next generation AI silicon and systems in parallel, greatly accelerating the time to deploy these accelerators at data center scale. And so far, customer feedback has been very positive. This deal remains on track to close in the first half of 2025. Also, they've try to match Nvidia in terms of the uh, release of next generation GPUs, accelerators. And the launch of their next generation MI325X GPU earlier this month extends the memory capacity and bandwidth and delivers up to 20% higher inferencing performance compared to the H200, which is NVIDIA's GPU, and competitive training performance. So when you compare this next generation GPU from AMD, it delivers better performance on inferencing, meaning when you're trying to operate the large language model, you've already trained it, it's already up and running. It delivers 20% better performance compared to Nvidia. But when you're doing training, Nvidia still has the lead. And so AMD, instead of saying how far behind they are to Nvidia in terms of training, they say that they are competitive with Nvidia in training. So that means they're close, or they're there, but they don't want to give you the number of just how far behind they are Nvidia in terms of training performance there. Still, if they can have an advantage against Nvidia even in just the inferencing part, that's a win for AMD, because they're so far behind overall market share in this category that if they can deliver any kinds of advantages, that's going to be a win for them. And already they say that customer and partner interest for this next gen MI325X is high. And so production shipments are planned to start this quarter, with widespread availability from their distributors starting in the first quarter of 2025. Also, like Nvidia, they're accelerating their product development pace to deliver annual cadence of new Instinct products. Remember, Nvidia said that that's what they're going to do from now on as well. They used to deliver every 2 years. Now they said they want to do every 1 year. And so this year, Nvidia developed the Blackwell technology. Last year it was the Hopper technology. They already announced that next year it's going to be the Rubin technology. So every year they're going to come out with new technology for the AI data center market, and AMD is trying to duplicate that. And so they're saying they're going to do annual releases as well. Their next gen MI350 series is looking very good and is on track to launch in the second half of 2025. With the largest generational increase in AI performance they have ever delivered. So they're really enthusiastic about this MI350 that's coming out in the second half of 2025. And then they're already developing the MI400 series based on the CDNA Next architecture. That's progressing very well, and they're hoping for a launch for 2026. So AMD trying to duplicate the success of Nvidia by following in Nvidia's steps. I think that's a prudent strategy. I think they're doing well. They're making good progress here. And to answer the question I posed in the video, could AMD become the next Nvidia? I think the answer is no. But if they can even become a fraction of what Nvidia has become, I think they will deliver great returns for shareholders in the long run. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.